my name is Nicoly.
Hi, my name is Toni.
And welcome to the Dope Student Podcast. And who do we have here today?
Zachary Frazier.
Okay, Mr. Zach. So today we're going to be asking you some questions about your career. So how did you become interested in carpentry, and what did it lead you to pursue it as like a career?
Well, one of the biggest things was I was around carpentry most of my life. Didn't really understand it. Didn't really want to be involved in it growing up. I was a kid, so I wanted to, do what I wanted to do, basically. Carpentry definitely wasn't it. When I was growing up, it was firefighter, police officer, lawyer, doctor. These were the things that the schools always implemented in your lives. So my thing was, I seen carpentry, which was my father and stepfather, and it was like it was there. Go ahead.
What does a typical day look like for you as a carpentry worker?
8-hour day, 7 to 3:30, nonstop movement. I go to the bathroom with my tool belt on. Tools, we always all bring our own hand tools, and we get a break around 8:45, 9 o'clock-ish for about 15 minutes. Then we go back to work, and around 11:45, 12 o'clock, we do lunch. It's consistent. Everything's consistent. The biggest thing with carpentry is the consistency. If I'm working with someone else, their job, if I'm on the ground or they're up in the air, which meaning that, I might be on a ladder, their job is to assist me and making sure I don't have to come down off that ladder for anything so we can get the job done. Everything in carpentry is based off hours, time.
What are some of the essential skills and qualities required to become a successful union carpenter?
First and foremost, you got to go to 4 years of school, 1 day a week. They pay you for your school, which they do pay. It's about $20,000 in total for 4 years, so it's about $5,000 a year, which you don't pay for unless you do not finish. If you don't finish, you will be getting a bill in the mail for the year that you did not finish. It's for, like I said, geometry, trigonometry, all different kind of maths is required. You have to know math. You have to learn. Me and Mr. Jared talked about it. The tape measure. You have to know the tape measures. You have to understand. A tape measure is going to be probably one of the most powerful tools you're going to have in your pouch. Very good to know. And for me, math was kind of hard, so I had to get tutoring for math and make sure that I was able to pass the test. And then after that, you have to get sponsored, meaning you have to go to another place where, a union operation, and you got to ask them to see if they believe in you as being an apprentice to sponsor you, so you can start working, and you will get at minimum a year of working with them as a apprentice, and you'll work up under a journeyman carpenter.
Could you tell us about some of the projects you have worked on as union carpenter, and why do you like them and why?
One of the biggest things is because we're union, we do commercial. So you see Comcast 1 and 2, that's all union. Most of the things you see in Center City, the buildings there are all union, and I've been in most of the buildings in the city of Philadelphia. And it's the biggest thing is seeing the beginning stages of it just being concrete, which, Mr. Jared, I'm sure have showed you guys, the concrete slab, that foundation is what starts the building. That's where it starts at. Now the framing has to get started, and I'm the guy that comes in and I do framing. Framing is a very, very, very serious job because that's more so the stability of the building, the framing. If you don't have that framing right, there's a good chance that building won't survive, especially when you're going 40, 50 flights up. So framing needs to be impeccable, so we try to do the best we can and making sure the framing is complete. And I love the finished product. The finished product for me is when I see people actually walking inside of a building that I remember just being a slab. No walls, no nothing. We framed it, rocked it, other trades came in, whether it might be iron workers, whether it be, plumbers, electricians. And the biggest thing I like also is that carpenters are the first ones to come in and the last ones to leave.
What are some of the challenges you face in your work as a union carpenter, and how do you overcome them?
One of the biggest things with union carpentry is that I'm a minority at times. It can be a little challenging being a minority. But as we all know, quality work speaks volume. If you do good work, sometimes it doesn't always get seen, because of the difference in, nationality. But what I'll do is I'll always put my front foot forward and always come in. One thing I believe is giving 100%, regardless of what is seen or unseen. My job is to give 100% every day. And eventually, I'm sure I will get, I get what's rightfully due when it comes to my work ethic. And me dealing with it, I keep chugging away every day because I believe in my craft. I believe in what I was taught, and I believe in what I continue to learn every day, and I just keep pushing.
Can you describe the process of becoming a unit carpenter and what kind of training approaches is involved?
Once again, you have to pass a math test first and foremost. So you're going to get a $30 money order, and you're going to take that money order to the school. The school is going to tell you, okay, this is the test date. Once you take that $30 money order, you get the test date. You take the math test. Weeks later, you're going to find out if you passed or failed the test. If you pass the test, you have to find someone that can sponsor you, which I spoke about before. Once you get the sponsorship, now you can start school. School's probably going to start around the same time, a September date, something like that. You have 4 years of school, 1 hour, one day a week for 4 years. You know what I mean? And every day you got to go in there. You got to make sure that you stay up on it. You'll be getting tested on things that you know, and they're looking for you to keep at minimum of like an 80 percentile rate, so you can definitely be the top notch carpenters. Because one thing about union, we get paid top rate. We are supposed to be proficient at our jobs at all times because we're supposed to be the best. So to get that top rate, they want you to perform top quality.
How has technology impacted the field of carpentry? Are there any specific tools or software that you use regularly?
Regularly, for me, being a frame and drywall guy, at times it's more so like drywall guns. You have impact guns, and your basic hand tools, like I said, measuring tape, utility knife, basic tools. Basic tools. You definitely want to have a speed square. You want to have your square, so you can measure the sheetrock, get a straight cut. I learned being in the carpentry union. It's so funny because I was using the square for a lot and drawing lines. So I learned how to do this mechanism that we use now, where we actually put a line on one side of the sheetrock and we cut it with the drywall knife, using the top of the drywall and our line from the line that we put there, and ripping the sheet, because everything is time. You don't want to be drawing a line with a pencil and then cutting it. Listen to me. That foreman want to see you ripping that drywall, and they count every piece of rock that you put up. The expectation of you is 40 pieces of drywall a day.
What are the safety precautions do you take on the job to ensure the well-being of yourself and your colleagues?
First and foremost, I want to make sure that I'm there on time and I'm not tired. You want to get the proper amount of rest. Rest is going to be profound, because you have to know, like, listen, I'm rested because I know what I have to do the next day. And you never really want to take off, or you don't want to be late, because they man the job for a specific amount of men. And those men, if I don't come to work and it's manned for 10 people, now it's 9 people, somebody has to do double work. And that's going to take away from the production of the job. The other thing is, you make sure, if you're on the top floor, you make sure you have all the barricades and things that you need in place, footboards, all of these things that you need in place, because if you go up on top of somewhere and you can hang off the side of the building almost, that's not a good place for you to be. Or if, the footboard is not there for, if it's a kickboard in case something maybe fall over, you don't want to be able to, like walk straight across, you are 25 stories and you can walk off the edge. That's not, and OSHA's not gonna have that anyway. We have, everything is OSHA certified. We want to make sure OSHA's, cleared it for us to be on any platform that we're on. And the biggest thing is making sure that everybody is at a working process in their minds to know what our job is. Because you do the same job for the most part every day. Every floor is almost the same. You're doing the same thing on every floor. So you want to make sure the crew that you're with, is good. You have the right material. You take all the material that you need to your floor. It's already there, and you can get to work.
Are there any specific certifications or license that union carpentries need to obtain? If so, how do you go about acquiring them?
Yes, you have to be OSHA certified. OSHA 30 is what I have. I have OSHA 10 and OSHA 30. And we get a lot of certifications, and everything that you get for the most part will be given to you from school. If you want to go back to get more certifications, the school will, and everything's free. That's the best part about this. Everything is free. All you have to do is sign up for it. If it's a certification that you may need, a journeyman upgrade class that you may need, any certification or upgrade classes that you may need, you can go back to the school, sign up. It's all free because they all want you to do the job at a high level so it can be done right. So everything is free and it's all certified right at the school.
In your opinion, what are some of the rewarding aspects of being a union carpenter?
one of the biggest rewards is it's a skill that you can take with you that even if you decide, hey, you know what, I want to do this full time on my own, this is a skill that they can't take from you. How Mr. Jarrett, he does his thing on his own. He has the skill. They cannot take that from him. So he can go wherever he wants and make money anywhere he goes. That's the great part about having a trade. With a trade, once you learned it, it's there. So you can go outside of your regular job and go get jobs for yourself and make an unlimited amount of money. There's no ceiling to the amount of money you can make having a trade. It's all in how much you really want to work and the work ethic that you're going to put in.
How does being a union member benefit your career as a carpenter? What advice does it provide?
One thing I will say about benefits of a union carpenter is we have this thing called a double bubble. Man, it's phenomenal. Meaning when we retire after doing our time in the union, we have a pension. And say your pension is $3,000. The union doubles that by giving you another $3,000 on top of what your pension may be, which is always helpful when you're retired, right? Of course, you need more money. The other benefits is the union, it has very good, very, very good, the health benefits, dental. It's basically 100% because what we have is a card that pays for the other percentage. And you might not pay it right then and there, but what happens is you send in a receipt, they give you your money right back for anything else that you may need, like some extra charge that might have, came off that you didn't know. You might have to pay it up front right then and there, but later on you can send that receipt and get your money back. And then just the union, it fights for your rights. The union fights for our rights. It fights for our, our whatever our cost is hourly. We fight for that. You know what I mean? Because we are people that know we may have not went to college, but we did go to school. So now that's what makes it a career because we have the education behind what we do. So we fight for that dollar amount to make us a higher amount than any other carpenters in the city or even in the country.
For middle school students who might want and be interested in pursuing the carpentry career, what advice do you have for them?
Biggest thing is you got to man up or woman up because I'm going to tell you guys something, and girls. Women they do really well in carpentry, especially finished work. Finished work is what women do great because y'all had that eye. You know what I mean? That eye that a lot of men, I'm what they call a rougher. So, I do a lot of drywalling and things like that. So our taper will come behind us and make our stuff look good. You know what I mean? Make it look like it was great. But what I will say is, what was the question one more time? I'm sorry.
What advice do you, if middle school students want to pursue?
My advice, be good at math, very good at math, and get up under somebody like a Mr. Jarrett that can give you that pre-apprenticeship skill at this level. Because you guys may not see it now, but this is actually a high level that he's giving you. The tools that he has, the material that he uses, the information that he gives you. You know what I mean? And getting it at 8th grade this young is very, very, very good because I was in the 8th grade and didn't understand carpentry at all, but I was around it. So getting someone to give you that skill of whatever trade that Mr. Jarrett gives at that time, man, you know what I mean? Being a guy that lays cement block to electrical to plumbing. I've seen it all that he's done. I see the videos and I've seen him, you know what I mean, in real life. So I'm telling you, getting it now is definitely something because later on what you'll have is the mindset and the hand-eye coordination and a small amount of skill that'll maybe get you further. Because if you have it now, you can actually test in to get 2 years ahead of someone that's coming right in the Carpenters Union because you already have some of the skill.
Thank you for letting us interview you, Mr. Zach.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching another episode on the Dope Center Podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Would you like to tell us only of your social media platforms?
Absolutely. TrustFactor.org is Instagram and all social media platforms. And also we have a webpage, trustfactororg.com. Please come on. We do a lot of great things there, and we definitely going to be collaborating with Mr. Jarrett to do some more phenomenal work for guys and girls like you all.